Miracle Boy Boxing. I am your host, and Cruz. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to talk to you guys about a fight that's, in my opinion, very exciting for me, to me, for me and to me, and it's very intriguing, man. And I think it's one of the most it's one of the most even fights you can think of at 154. 50-50. Both guys solid. Both guys can box. They got good power. They're both the same age. They got identical records. Same amount of fights. One is undefeated. One has a lone loss. And definitely have learned from that loss. And it's gotten better. And I'm talking about Xander Zayas and Vito Mielnicki Jr. That is a tremendous fight, and I hope it happens next year, guys. That's a fight that I've been thinking about for some time and hoping it happens. Xander Zayas 18-0, 12 knockouts. Vito has 17 wins, 1 loss, 12 knockouts. So they got the same amount of knockouts and the same amount of fights. Just the only difference is one has a loss. And like I said, he hasn't avenged it, but he's learned from it. He's learned from it, and man, let me tell you something. Xander Zayas, I'm a big fan of Xander Zayas. Of course, like I said, I represent all my fighters, all my Puerto Rican fighters. But if Xander Zayas was to step into the ring with Vito, I'll be a bit nervous because Vito, he's solid, he can box, he got good power, just like Xander Zayas. Same age, like I said. And he's on the roll, man. Ever since that loss, he's gotten better and better. They both share one common opponent, and that is Alexis Salazar. And Alexis Salazar, let me tell you, styles make fights in boxing, right? Xander Zayas fought Alexis Salazar. He won 10 rounds with him. Competitive fight. Vito fought Salazar, and guess what happens? Vito knocked him out in 1 round. Crazy. He knocked him out quicker than Carlos Adames knocked him out. Like I said, styles make fight in boxing. That was very impressive, though, no doubt, for Vito to knock him out in 1 round. Something Xander Zayas didn't do, and neither Carlos Adames. So, and like I said, these go both at the same age. They're still gaining their man strength, and they're still on the rise to become an attraction in their weight, a big name in their weight class. You know, no world titles yet for them. No world title fights for them yet. But they're both contenders, in my opinion. They're no longer prospects. Xander Zayas about to get the biggest fight of his career, an opponent in Patrick Teixeira in February at Madison Square Garden. On the undercard of Oshaki Foster versus Abraham Nova. That'll be a good test. That'll be a tremendous test for him. And Vito just came off a first-round knockout a couple of days ago. Vito has been very active. He's been fighting. This is like his 5th fight this year. Like I said, man, Xander Zayas versus Vito is a solid fight at 154, man. Anything can happen in that fight. Both guys have to be careful because, you know, they're any of these two guys can end the fight with a good shot or change it because both can crack, man. Both can crack. They're very sharp. They got good punch placements, you know, and a lot of patience is going to be needed in this fight. You cannot get excited. Neither of these two guys cannot get excited because when they land a good punch on each other, because anybody can counter, anybody can catch someone with a shot. A lot of patience, and I think that's one of the keys in this fight, man. The patience in this fight, like you hit him. Stay composed, keep jabbing. Don't get excited because you may run into a shot. Xander Zayas have been showing patience lately in the fight. Vito, not so much, but it's still a dangerous fight for either of the two, man. Like I said, I got Xander Zayas. I back him up all the time in the fights. You know, like I said, I back up all my fighters, all my Puerto Rican fighters. But in this fight right here, I'm nervous. I'll be nervous if he fights Vito because I respect Vito. Vito's a cool dude. I met him once. at the Wilder Helenius card in New York. And he fought on that card actually, and I think he won by 3rd round knockout. And I got a picture with him. Check it out. That's him with a WBA interim strap, actually, with a WBA title, not world title, but like an interim. So that's me and Vito at the Barclays Center right after his fight. So, and after that fight, he just kept improving, and he, like I said, he knocked out Alexis Salazar, man, a veteran who's slick in there, who's supposed to be a durable guy, and Vito knocked him out in 1 round. Xander Zayas went 10 rounds competitively with him. Carlos Adames knocked Alexis Salazar out in 3 rounds, but Vito did it in 1. That's crazy. I was expecting a competitive fight between Vito and Alexis Salazar. It was supposed to be Vito's toughest opponent, biggest test, and he blew it out in 1 round. So 154 guys, both 21, both with the same amount of fights. Just one has 1 loss. Hasn't avenged it, but he's learned from it, and he's been on the road since. Vito has been very active this year, and he's definitely coming in with huge momentum. Even though he's no longer undefeated, he's coming in with a huge momentum, a lot of momentum into 2024. And I hope this fight happens. Xander Zayas versus Vito Mielnicki Jr. Both guys same age, 154, more or less same records, same amount of knockouts. They're both on the rise to stardom at 154. They're both more or less on the same level when it comes to class in boxing. You know, you got your C, your B's, your A's. Both guys are on the same level, you know. B minus, B, solid B fighters coming up. And it's a solid fight. It's an even fight. It's a 50-50 fight, in my opinion. That's a perfect co-main event to a big fight in New York, Madison Square Garden. That'll be perfect because Vito's right across the bridge in New Jersey. He's from Jersey, so and, you know, Xander Zayas always fights in Madison Square Garden, New York. So that'll be a perfect fight for the Puerto Rican Day Parade in June. You know, once Xander Zayas, everything goes well with Xander Zayas against Patrick Teixeira, Xander Zayas can come back to New York and fight Vito on the in the supposedly Teofimo versus Subriel Matias card in New York. That'll be perfect. That'll be a perfect fight on that card. You know, I'll be a nervous wreck for that fight because Vito is no slouch. He's no joke. He's for real, man. He's a very good fighter. Very good fighter. So, Xander Zayas versus Vito. It's a tremendous matchup at 154. As even as it gets. Tail of the tape on paper is virtually identical. Both are 21 years old. Both with the same amount of fights. Both with the same amount of knockouts. And when it comes to level of opposition, it's kind of even. It's kind of even. I hope it happens. Hope it happens sometime next year. Or and if not next year, man, they're going to clash in the future. They're going to clash in the future. They're going to clash for sure. And it's going to be a hell of a fight. Once both these guys continue to do what they're doing and winning, it's going to be a hell of a fight. So, we'll see what happens with that. Miracle Boy Boxing. I'm your host, and crew. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, guys. Always a pleasure to talk to you about boxing right here. Solid fight. Miracle Boy Boxing. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.